The first time I saw her, she was standing in the middle of a wheat field, her hair catching the morning light like liquid silver. I'd been testing a new drone camera for the research outpost, documenting meteorite impacts. She didn't belong there, no one did. Her eyes, strange and radiant, were the color of molten gold, and when she looked at me, the world seemed to stop breathing. I remember calling out, my voice trembling, "Hey, are you lost?" She tilted her head, studying me like I was something fragile. Then she smiled, a smile that didn't belong to Earth. "You shouldn't be here," she said softly. "This place is dangerous." That was the beginning. Her name was Asura. She told me she came from a world light years away, a planet bathed in blue suns. Her ship had crashed after an encounter with an asteroid storm. The wreck was buried beneath the field, invisible to any human eye. First I thought she was delusional, but when she showed me the faint glow beneath her skin, bioluminescent veins pulsing faintly like starlight, I knew she was telling the truth. We met in secret for months. Every night, she would appear where the wheat whispered, her eyes reflecting the moon. She told me stories of her people, beings of energy and matter, travelers who rode the currents between galaxies. I told her about my small human life, my failures, my dreams that never reached the stars. Somewhere between the starlit confessions and shared silences, we fell in love. But love with an alien wasn't meant to last. One night, she came to me trembling, her glow dimmed. "They found me," she said. "My kind, my hunters. They know I broke our code. I stayed too long on this planet. They're coming." I reached for her hand. "Then let's run." She shook her head. "If I stay, you'll die." I didn't understand then. But she pressed her palm against my chest, right over my heart, and I felt something burn through me, an ache so deep it seared my soul. "This will keep you safe," she whispered. "Even if you forget me." And then she was gone. I searched for weeks. The wheat field was just a field again, empty except for the cold remains of the crash site. I convinced myself it had all been a dream. Years passed. The world moved on. I went back to teaching astrophysics, writing papers, living like an empty shell. Sometimes, when the night sky shimmered with auroras, I thought I heard her voice in the wind. Then came the return. It was 12 years later. I was stationed at the new orbital research facility, tracking a peculiar signal from beyond Mars. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Steady, familiar. The same pattern Asura once used to call me to the field. I tried to dismiss it as interference, but it grew stronger, closer. And then one evening alarms blared. A vessel appeared in low orbit, smooth, silver, shaped like a teardrop. The moment I saw it, I knew. The ship sent no transmission. It just hovered silently above the research station. My colleagues scrambled to contact Earth Command, but before they could, the lights flickered, and I was gone. When I opened my eyes, I wasn't on the station anymore. I was standing in a glass-like corridor filled with soft blue light. And she was there. Asura. Older maybe. Changed. Her glow was gentler, her eyes filled with something between joy and sorrow. "I told you," she said softly, stepping closer. "If I stayed, you'd die. But you didn't. You lived. Because I left." I wanted to speak, to tell her how I'd missed her, how every day since she vanished had felt hollow. But words crumbled. "You came back," I finally managed. "I came because the universe changed," she whispered. "The war that separated our worlds is over. I can be here now for a while." We stood together, surrounded by stars through the translucent hull. She told me her kind had finally embraced contact, no longer hiding from humanity. But what she didn't say, what her trembling hands told me, was that her time was short. The energy that keeps me alive, she said, is fading. My essence wasn't meant for this realm. I wanted to save her like she once saved me. I worked beside her, analyzing every particle of her being, every frequency of her ship. We talked, we laughed, we remembered. It felt like those lost nights in the wheat field again. But as the days passed aboard her vessel, her glow dimmed more each sunrise. On the final night, we sat together beneath the observation dome. The galaxy stretched before us, a sea of endless light. "Do you regret saving me?" Yes. She smiled faintly. "Never. I wanted you to live long enough to see the stars." Tears burned my eyes. "Then stay. We can find a way." "I can." She placed her hand against my chest again, in the same place as before. "You carry my essence," she said. "That's why you've never aged as much as you should have. My energy protected you. But now I need it back to return home." Froze. If she took it, she'd live, but I might not survive. She saw the fear in my eyes and shook her head. "I won't let you die for me. I never could." She leaned in and kissed me. Soft, fleeting, filled with starlight. And then she whispered, "You'll wake up soon. Don't look for me again." Light swallowed everything. When I woke, I was back in my quarters on the orbital station. The ship was gone. My colleagues said the object vanished, leaving behind no trace but a faint golden shimmer in orbit. I should have felt grief. But instead there was peace. In the mirror I noticed something new, a faint golden mark over my heart, shaped like a hand. And when I looked out at the stars, I could feel her presence somewhere among them, like a heartbeat echoing across the void. Every night since, I've gone to the observation deck, waiting, watching the stars shimmer. Some say I'm chasing a ghost, but I know better. Because sometimes when the light bends just right, I see her, standing in the wheat field of my memories, smiling beneath alien suns. And I whisper to the endless dark, "If I stay, will you come back again?" And somewhere across the cosmos, I swear I hear her answer, "I never truly left."